We have purchased a red brick home on the central coast of New South Wales, a true ugly duckling. And whilst most people have told me it should be knocked down, I have a vision to transform this home into a Palm Springs inspired masterpiece. Throughout my career as an interior designer, I have worked with literally thousands of clients on their own renovate or rebuild journey, but this time it's personal. We now have a newly imagined floor plan with not one, but two new bathrooms. In this episode, the PC items are installed. That means primary cost, the bath basins and toilets. We've also got our tapware and accessories going in. Those two new bathrooms are coming to life. Outside, well, that facade is also unrecognizable. To transform our ugly red brick duckling into that Palm Springs inspired look that I was after, I've selected a range of finishes and materials to help realize the potential of our home. Starting from the roof down, I replaced those dated roof tiles with a new ColourBond roof in the colour Blue Gum for the roof and the gutters. We've painted the brickwork and the new cladding in the colour Ghosting by Taubmans. It works really well outside where a pure white would just be too strong. For our new UPVC windows from Integra, I selected charcoal. It works like eyeliner for the windows, allowing them to pop. For the masonry walls and breeze blocks, I've gone to Brickworks. My pavers are also from Brickworks. The off-white background blends in with my walls and the masonry blocks, and again that fleck picks up beautifully with the blue-grey tones. The deck is a composite product from Modwood. The colour Silver Gum is perfect, complementing the rest of the scheme and that nice subtle timber grain. For the tiles on my new entry foyer and the alfresco, I've gone for a terrazzo porcelain tile. The dark colour in the chip picks up the tones of the decking and the roof, as well as the amazing mix of colours in the Laguna stone feature wall. For the bench top of the alfresco kitchen, I've gone with palm shade from Caesarstone. The final bold element is a punch of colour on our front doors, and I selected yellow, but not any yellow. unifies Springs, the brand new colour that I created with the team at Taubmans. So there you have it, my carefully curated palette, helping me transform the ugly red duckling into a beautiful white swan. And the name of this colour palette, just like the colour of our new front doors, is unifies Springs. While so much change has taken place, there's still a lot to do. Inside, the painting continues. It still amazes me after working for so many years as an interior designer just how effective paint is to help transform a place. Our cracker of a painting team, the Snedden brothers, are creating our white on white scheme using crisp white from Taubmans. It's going to create the perfect backdrop for all of those additional layers in flooring, pops of colour in feature walls, styling and decor. In the new floor plan, I replaced the original bathroom with a new hallway. Now, the width of this space was always going to be an issue for me. To put joinery on one side and still have the practical width for a hallway means that I had to be creative. On the bedroom side of that adjoining wall is actually the location of the new wardrobe. This wall won't be seen. Because it's inside the wardrobe, I don't have to line it. I'm only going to line the hallway side. On the wardrobe side, the coat hangers can sit on either side of that timber frame. That means that I'm gaining about 90mm, almost 10 centimetres. On the opposite wall of our new hallway is where I'm placing the joinery. That's our new laundry, linen and bar. Now, traditional joinery with appliances is about 600mm deep. I'm shrinking this to 500mm deep to gain extra width to walk past. I do have an issue though. I've got two appliances. I've got a drinks fridge and I've got a washing machine. Both of these are 600mm deep. What's my solution? My solution is for both of those two appliances to slide into the wall frame. To do this, I'm going to take out part of the wall frame and slide the appliances into that space. I can achieve this starting with the washing machine. It's going to sit under the original bathroom window. Now that window already has a lintel above it and it's strong enough and structurally sound. The washing machine will slide into that space under the wall, gaining me about 10 centimetres. Behind the bar fridge is our new bathroom, and it's here that I've already placed a brand new ledge. It runs the length of the room behind the shower and the bath. In essence, the bottom of that ledge is 2 walls. This allows me to pull out the bottom part of that original wall and slide the drinks fridge in. In fact, we built it to make sure it was structurally strong enough to do this. The results? Our hallway now has 500 deep joinery, 600 deep appliances, and the perfect width to walk past. Amazing. With so many trades on site, our timber installers Josh and Jared are getting creative. They're cutting the timber on the alfresco, which is keeping all of that mess outside, and instead of walking through the lounge and dining and around, they're actually passing the timber through the window. Great solution. Our new timber floors are engineered timber, a nice slice of beautiful tree on top of the cross-laminated pine underneath. These can be installed in 2 different ways. One is to go with a floating floor. The boards are clipped together and they sit on top of a foam or rubber substrate. This is great for renovation and it's used often in apartments. I've decided to go with solid fixed. That means that the boards are clicked together and glued on top of the floor substrate. The benefit of this is a nice solid surface with no bounce or movement. Once the boards are in place, the boys are using rubber straps to strap and to hold the boards into place. While the glue sets, it ensures that we get a really nice solid bond. Because I reimagined the floor plan, we've got a mixture of the original timber floorboards and the concrete slab from where the old bathroom used to be. That's the new hallway. As the boys work their way through the house and cover that, they're creating one unified flooring. This floor plan is going to look like it's always been this way. Sandra's excited to see someone other than him using a vacuum cleaner. They're actually vacuuming, cleaning as they go because they're putting protective sheeting on top. This is going to ensure that those beautiful finished floorboards remain in a pristine state throughout the rest of the renovation process. Now, we're not actually bringing any of our furniture from our Sydney home up to this renovation. We will, of course, add our own personal touches through artwork and decor. This is great because it allows me to select brand new furniture pieces that are appropriate for our brand new Palm Springs style. To start the process, I'm going to visit Life Interiors. You understand, it's not a massive home, but it's a normal sized home. Palm Springs inspired, but I'm not trying to create a museum. I'm noticing as I'm looking around lots of curves,
Yes.
and it's that play on geometry, that play on shape. It's really
Curved lines, natural materials, really sort of like low-lying furniture as well. We found that that's been really popular at the moment, and I feel that that ties back in with that mid-century sort of aesthetic. We've got beautiful brass detailing on a lot of our furniture as well, which I feel will tie back in really
perfect,
well.
because I've got brass details in
Yeah.
my tapware, in my sink, even in the handles on the
Yeah.
joinery in the kitchen and my little bar area.
Yeah.
So it is really curved and soft finishes and just
Yeah.
easy to maintain, really practical surfaces that are nice to look at but also not requiring high maintenance.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think people are scared with putting like timber on timber?
No, I don't think so at all. That oak flooring will go really well with some of the beautiful oak timber pieces that we've got. James, I really appreciate you bringing in all of these material samples. It really helps us to be able to then tie back in the furniture pieces with what your scheme is going to look like. So you're loving this coffee table, you really like the shape of it, all the different textures and the different lines.
Yep.
We need a rug to sit underneath
Correct.
it. This is the Viper rug. It's really beautiful. It's got the curved lines while still being in a rectangle shape. It's a New Zealand wool blend, hand tufted.
This is great, I love it. This is an exciting process. I've got a clear vision of what I want, but Nicole knows her product and range well. And I know together we can create a fantastic look and feel for this renovation project. We originally allocated 4 weeks for the installation of our stone from Central Coast Tile and Stone. Now, Christian has been working around the clock, but being outside, the rain has affected this timeline. Now that the sun is out, he's back to try and finish off those little details to end up with a completed project, and it is looking amazing. Christian is able to get up on the roof and continue with the rest of the stone cladding. As the final pieces of stone go into place, it looks like it actually goes up and through the roof. It's creating that illusion that that wall has always been there. The footings and frame for our brand new side deck are already in place. Those existing 2 windows have now become 1 fixed panel and 1 sliding glass door. One of the many products that I sourced at Walker Brothers is Modwood. I'm actually really familiar with this brand. It combines 2 different materials, wood pulp, which is a byproduct from the timber industry, and PET, which is actually recycled milk bottles. Combined, they create a very durable, hard-wearing surface that's perfect for the great outdoors. It comes in 5.4 metre lengths, which is perfect because our deck sits just over 5 metres. It means that I won't have any joins. Paul and Mark have installed the black plastic connecting strip and screwed it on top of the timber frame. This allows the new Modwood boards to be dropped and click into place. It's that easy. It's such a simple job. It only took a couple of hours. And as it goes down, I know I made the right choice. The colour, well, I selected silver gum. It works perfectly with my Unifies Springs palette. Another item delivered on site by Walker Brothers is our brand new Hume doors. Now, I actually selected these from their Hampton range. We're not creating a Hamptons looking home here, but the profile of these doors are very adaptable and the clean lines work perfectly for my Palm Springs inspired look. But the profile of these doors is very adaptable. I'm replacing the original door to the courtyard with a brand new timber framed translucent glass door. Translucent glass is 2 pieces of glass with a translucent film in the middle. This allows us to enjoy the light from the west without having to worry about the heat. Now that natural light's going to flood into the end of our brand new hallway. The painters are back on site to now paint those doors and finish off the skirting and architraves. It's certainly all coming together. Our new wainscoting walls in 2 of the bedrooms have been installed using the channel profile by EasyCraft. Mark is now adding a thin piece of timber on top to create a refined look. I painted small swatches of colour on some offcuts of the cladding. This allowed Sandra and I to carry those samples throughout the home so that we could both agree on the colours for each location. Sandra originally preferred to have 1 colour throughout the home, but after he looked at the samples in the different spaces, he came around. Being an artist, he's not afraid of colour, so we're actually using different colour in different locations. Who says that I don't include him in the decision-making process? Whilst the painters have done an awesome job and actually do it much quicker than we can, Sandra and I have decided to paint the feature wall locations ourselves. Why? Well, it's a chance for us to put our own personal touch on the home. It's also something that we can do on the weekends when no one else is around. We know that we're going to have to add multiple coats to get the depth of colour that we're after, but already from the first coat we can see the effect and it's looking great. My Unifies Springs colour palette continues internally. When you enter the new entry foyer, the porcelain tile from those outside stairs flows into the brand new foyer floor, and then you step up into the living area. This timber oak floor flows right throughout the house. Into the bathrooms, we've also continued the terrazzo feel, this time in a much busier floor tile, and add brushed brass for the accessories and the tapware, and it works so well. Our brand new vanity is actually a dark timber tone. The walls, skirting and architrave as well as the doors throughout the whole home are in crisp white. We've got feature walls in the bedrooms as well as the main living area that wraps around into our new hallway. The timber floor continues to the location of our new kitchen at the rear of the home. For its colour, well, I decided to continue that influence of the calming green, this time in forage in a beautiful Vignette finish. For the kitchen benchtop, I selected Caesarstone's Arboreto. It's got such a strong vein. For the splashback, I've repeated that vertical texture look that I already used in the bathrooms, this time in a smaller format tile known as a Mars bar. For the light switches and power points, I've opted for the iconic range from Clipsal. I went with matte black throughout the main house. This complements the new charcoal window frames and the black frames of the new wardrobes. For the bathrooms, I decided to go with white so that they blend in with the white walls. For our window coverings, I've gone with a combination of roller blinds and curtains. The fabric in the curtains is a nice off-white. The final punch of colour is that brilliant yellow. Springs, the brand new colour that I created with the team at Taubmans. To get a full breakdown of all of the finishes and materials that I selected for our Springs palette, it's easy. Just download the fact sheet at jamesboughtahouse.com. To continue watching the journey of our Central Coast renovation, just click through to episode 6, part 2.